All the hearties, a very good morning to you. Monday morning, nothing gets past me. Scottie McClue, just for you, live streaming on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, I say. It's lovely to have you with us, and I hope you're okay. You've survived the weekend, and you're ready to do business on Monday morning with me, Scottie McClue, live on YouTube. If you're brand new to Scottie McClue, then I am the First Lord of the Internet, the world's top broadcaster, and the world's most humble man. Fantastic titles to have. I do hope I live up to the three of them. There we are. Welcome. Great to have you with us. Who have we got? Who has joined us first thing at 10 o'clock sharp on this very windy, but at least a dry morning in Scotland? So there you are. Right, let's have a look and see who's joined us. See if it's some of our favourites. It's the wonderful J-Dog Gaming, who is absolutely spot on. Dinky-Doo, Scottie. And a very good morning to you, Dinky-Doo, J-Dog. Welcome to the live stream. Fantastic. Great stuff, guys. Well done. And remember to you have to move the chat aside and give me a like. Somebody told me that. Kareem Zachariah, how are we? We are wonderful, Kareem. Well done. You're up nice and sharp. Are you up sharp every morning? Fantastic. And is the headaches better? So there we go. Very, very important, Kareem. Excellent. But no, we're very well. I was delighted to see that the rain had left us. Torrential rain at the weekend in Scotland. So there we are. But we've got the wind this morning. But don't worry, a peppermint will sort that out, I always say. Morning, big man, says Stephen Douglas. Morning, Stephen. Lovely to have you with us. Welcome, welcome. Well done. You're nice and sharp this morning. 10 o'clock during the lockdown. It's become early for some people. Good morning, Scottie. Tell Mrs. McClure Johnson I said good morning. I shall do, Glenn. Darling. Darling. Yes? Oh, she's not there. Johnson, when you see her ladyship, you tell her that Glenn, no, not Ben Johnson, Glenn from Sheffield, that's right, says good morning. Very good. Thank you, Johnson. Yes, very good, sir. He says, Johnson's in charge of all that, Glenn. He'll sort it for us. Whew. Get the bonnet on straight this morning. Fantastic. Lovely to have you all with us, guys. Now, a very busy morning this morning. What a superb weekend. I wasn't on yesterday, of course, but Saturday night show was quite outstanding. So there you are. And that was number 46. Is that right? And we're at 47. What is going on here? We need to get going, guys. My goodness me, get the sharing started. Tell 10 to tell 10. Share, share, share. Wonderful stuff. Thank you for that, Glenn. I hope things are well in Yorkshire this morning. Fantastic. It'll be a bit early for Canada and America to join us, but I have no doubt they will do tonight. So there we are. Fantastic. We are on the move already. Right, I'm going to do a bit of sharing. And there we are. I'll just take that. Always like to do a wee bit of the blurb just to let people know what's actually happening. Howdy, Mr. McClure, says the wonderful Ronnie Stevenson. You're up early in the day, Ronnie. Absolutely. Are you? Have you got work on the go at the moment? Aye, it was number 46. Stephen Douglas, you're some man. Checking out the numbers. So this is 47. Can you believe when we started that we would be at 47, approaching 50 of our podcasts? I just think that's wonderful. And I love the way it's been received. So there we are. Welcome, Ronnie. Lovely to have you with us. I liked and shared Scottie. Yes, I caught the rain in Linlithgow, walking the dog, such a lovely town. They have a statue called the Black Bitch of Linlithgow, brackets dog, close brackets. Do you know the story? I think I did once know the story, Kareem, but I can't call it to hand right now. And that's very, very interesting. So, but I have heard of the Black Bitch of Linlithgow, brackets, dog, close brackets. Thank you for that. And you would see Linlithgow Palace. Now, I would like to see Linlithgow Palace done up and maybe as, I don't know, a country home for the First Minister of Scotland or something like that, a bit like Chequers for the Prime Minister. But I would like to see it done up historically. I mean, it could do with a wee freshen up and get the decorators in, maybe a roof on it as well. That would be good. So there are that sort of thing. That's what I'm looking at. Guys, I'm just going to start sharing and let everybody know that we are live big style. So what is the story? Did you pick the story up, Kareem? Because I'd like to hear about that. And of course, Mary Queen of Scots used Linlithgow Palace. The Scottish court used it and the court moved, as did the capital of Scotland. Is everybody familiar with that? The capital of Scotland used to move around Perth, Dunfermline, all that sort of stuff. Anybody else know any capitals of Scotland? Well, there we are. As it moved around, was Dumbarton one of them? Might be worth an idea. I don't know. See how you get on. There we are. And I shall just put, no, I don't need to put live now because they know I'm live now. Morning, everyone in chat. Stephen Douglas, good morning. Lovely to have you with us. Can everybody give us a like? Apparently, you have to move the chat aside. Is that right? You have to just collapse it and bring it back up. Is that correct? How do you do a like? Because I'm wondering if there's a complication. Morning to you, Stephen Douglas. I hope you've had a good weekend. And welcome, welcome, welcome to Scottie McClue's live stream on YouTube. I know it's early. We might have to chuck it. We'll see if we get to the end of the week, but we might have to chuck the mornings and go on to evenings only if I have to return to my day job in a rush. Oh, that tea is just beautiful. Hot, fresh tea. I have run out of Earl Grey, though, so I shall have to social distance myself to the local shop for a packet of Earl Grey tea, because that should be a morning tea, shouldn't it? A local thief. This is the story of the Black Bitch of Linlithgow, dog, close brackets, brackets, close brackets. A local thief was chained to the island in the middle of the loch, Linlithgow Loch, to starve to death, but he was fine after a couple of days. The locals, confused at this, investigated. To be continued. Don't spoil us, Kareem. Hang on to it if you like. So, guys, part one of the Black Bitch of Linlithgow, brackets, dog, close brackets, is this. A local thief was chained to the island in the middle of the loch to starve to death. But he was fine after a couple of days. The locals, confused at this, investigated this. Da-dee-dee-dee, to be continued. So there are. I have sent a friend request on your Facebook. Absolutely, Stephen Douglas. Now, if you can follow me on Facebook, because we're very, very mobbed on Facebook. One of the pages has got 6,000 likes. Another of the pages has got, I think it's 3,500 followers. Something like that, 3,600 followers, and there's about 1,000 friend requests pending. I can hardly barely keep up with it. So if you can follow me, Stephen, so there's not a big delay in you getting befriended on the Facebook. But then we make space because a couple have to get binned off for chicking up. I have sent a friend request. Excellent, Stephen, good man. So who knows if Kareem is in a generous mood, and I know he's a very, very generous man, a very nice man, he may well give us part two of the Black Bitch of Linlithgow, brackets, dog, close brackets. Oh, fantastic. That's what we like. Right. Let's get sharing. Share, share, share. Nothing breeds like sharing. Nothing breeds like success. Part two. Kareem has given us part two. Right, we shall just come and do part two, Kareem. I'll just do a wee share here just to let everybody know what is what. I'm sharing on Reddit, guys. So if anybody's on Reddit, Scottie_McClue, get on there and give me some karma. That's what you call it, yep. All that stuff is wonderful. The wonderful J-Dog gave us a great joke last week. A restaurant called Karma. There's no menu. You get what you deserve. We love it. Oh, the tea, sip of tea. I have to watch. I've got the big rugby playing elbows, and we have to watch that we don't knock it over. Have you anything nice for breakfast, Scotty? Glenn Peacock? I shall not tell a lie, because I never do. 2 rashers of bacon are going to be popped into the pan, and 2 pieces of brown bread are going into the toaster. Do you get the picture? And a wee bit of brown sauce. Get the picture? So now I would call that nice. Right, part 2 of the Black Bitch of Linlithgow. Brackets, dog, close brackets. Thank you, Kareem. At night, his dog would swim to give him food/water. Now there's conflicting literature, but locals found the dog and either let the thief and the dog free or chained both up to sadly die. It's interesting. Well, these old kind of baddies who dished out summary, they weren't baddies, they were just simple people, but they were dishing out summary justice. And it's a thought, you know, if we dished out summary justice, could you imagine if you said, who's chained up on the island to starve to death? You say, baddies, local baddies. Yes, they robbed somebody. Oh, so they're now going to starve to death. What do we think? Summary justice? Scotty, excellent idea. Renovate the castle and push for tourism in an independent Scotland. Yes, and I think maybe a nice apartment, a country house for the First Minister. And we can say, is the First Minister at Bute House? No, she's off to Linlithgow for the weekend to the conference, to the castle, to the palace. How fabulous would that be? So there we are. That's what I would like to see. And I also think the First Minister should have an apartment in Edinburgh Castle. Yes, just to show you the importance of the office. Because when they were talking about the Scottish Parliament, I heard through the grapevine, they were thinking about the old Royal High School right up on top of Carlton Hill there. And I heard that the Labour administration at the time had thought that was suggested too much power. So that's one of the reasons that the Scottish Government building is right at the bottom of the Royal Mile. But then so is Holyrood House and the old Holyrood Abbey. And if you look at the road going up that becomes the High Street, it's the Cannon Gate. So it was the Cannon's Gate. It was the walk between Holyrood Abbey and Edinburgh Castle. Yes, the Royal Mile. So there you are. And then subscribe to you on Reddit. Brilliant, Glenn. Thank you for that. Scottie_McClue. And guys, if you can, subscribe on YouTube. It's sometimes easy to overlook it, but please do it if you haven't done it, because I need to build my subscribers. There we are. And I know some of the idiots we chase will unsubscribe because just out of badness, you know. So that sort of stuff. Hello, Scotty. How are you keeping? McAvoy production from the city of Cork. A very good morning to you, and lovely to have you with us. Is Cork just gorgeous this morning? Wonderful stuff. See the wide river there down at the harbour. You know, I mean, is it always as smooth as that? You know, it was very smooth when I was there. I was there in the end of June. The wonderful Gordon Robertson has joined us. Good morning. Joined just in time to hear you make a grammatical error. I doubt that very much, Gordon Robertson. Error to sadly die. It ought to be sadly to die. Yes, if you're telling the story, I have to give you that one, sadly to die. But I do that quite often to change language as well. So you could today, to die, probably, comma, sadly. Yes? So would you give me that one, Gordon? No? So thank you, Glenn Peacock, for subscribing to me on Reddit at Scottie_McClue. In fact, I'm just posting on Reddit right now, guys. So there we are. So I'll just get off that and get posting further afield as well. Yes, there we are. Just let everybody know on Reddit, Scottie_McClue. The blue sky is out and bright white clouds. What's the weather like in Scotland? It has been wild, as we say. I don't like to say horrendous or bad or horrible, but it was very, very wild. I would have said maybe force 10 gales. And using the Beaufort scale, I would have said a force 10. Certainly a force 10 anyway, maybe more. So there you go. But how far does the Beaufort scale go up, would you say? But we're certainly at force 10s and terrific driving torrential rain. I mean, real torrential. This morning, McAvoy, yes, I say to you, top of the morning, to you there now, McAvoy, over in County Cork. This morning, we've got, are you County Cork or Cork City, did you say, McAvoy? It's wonderful. So we've got beautiful sunshine and wind. So I think that McClue's bedding should be in the wash, definitely. Good morning, Scottie. Did you know that the Magdalen Chapel, is it Magdalen or Magdalen? Because, you know, Magdalen College, Oxford's Magdalen College, Oxford. But the Scots are rarely Magdalen. Magdalen Chapel in the Cowgate in Edinburgh is the only church in Scotland still to have its complete stained glass windows. Wow. There we go. Wow. Isn't that fabulous? So the Magdalen Chapel, how old is that? There we are. That is beautiful, fantastic. And the Cowgate. Now, I remember the Cowgate. I need to refresh myself. The Cowgate. Does the Cowgate come off the Grassmarket? The Cowgate. There we are. Fantastic. The gate for the cows, where they would drive the cattle from the borders through Edinburgh. Probably to the Falkirk trysts and things like that. The weather here in Alloa is beautiful with a light breeze. Alloa is beautiful with a light breeze. 30 years ago, I started your local radio station, Central FM, Centre Sound. Fantastic. And they very kindly asked me to ring up and talk about it on the 30th anniversary. But I missed their message. It came in on Facebook Messenger. And of course, I'm not on Facebook Messenger on this device because it interrupts the streams. Bloom, bloom, bloom with all the messages. Scottie, there's talk of Westminster passing law for another power grab on our Parliament. I'm very concerned and upset if this happens. Yes, and I've noticed they're trying to call it the Scottish administration, the English administration are calling it the Scottish administration. They should realise that they don't really know anything about Scotland and drop this that they subsidise Scotland in some way, because Scotland subsidises Westminster, has done for years. And I was just saying to somebody that, yeah, I'm not sure if independence is a good idea. Economically, independence is an excellent idea for Scotland. You know, and we have to look at that. And that's really the rub. You know, the politics are very much, the trimmings compared with the rub is that Scotland is a very wealthy country and that Westminster has ripped it off for years. So for 313 years, actually. But for thousands of years, Scotland was an independent country. So it's not anything new. We just got forced into a union. And, it hasn't really worked well for Scotland. If you look at all the little towns and villages in Scotland, are they in as good repair as they were 300 years ago? Probably yes, but that's the Scottish economy. Yes, I'll give you that one. You also made another non-grammatical error, but I'll let you off with it. No, Gordon, you must not let McClue off with these things. Flag it up. We need to know if we made a mistake. We need to know the worst thing you can do. I mean, I used to think that my teacher in primary school must just love me because she sent little kisses beside my sums when she gave me my jotter back. But I realised that I'd got the wrong end of the stick. Scottie, there's talk of Westwood. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, I'll give you that one, says Gordon. Good morning, Chinas, says the wonderful Alistair Campbell. Good morning, Alistair. Welcome, sir, welcome. McAvoy, over in Cork there. How lovely to have you with us, sir. We have rain and wind tomorrow on, so we're going to take a trip around all of West Cork today. McAvoy, it will be stunning. You stay in such a beautiful part of the world. Can you imagine me coming to Cork for the first time, as I did? And I said to my lovely friend, I said to her, I could just come and live here, like now. Have you ever had that feeling? Because home is home, but home to me has always been the universe. And wherever we are, that's home, because you're home. Morning, Scottish, the wonderful John Jones. The Cowgate does come off the grass market. Magdalen Chapel dates from the 14th century. Now, Robert Scrimger, I notice you've spelt it with 2 L's. Could you check that one for me? Is it the Magdalene Chapel? Magdalene. Have I got that right? The Magdalene Chapel. Guys, can we move the chat aside and like the stream? I need another dozen likes. Have we all subscribed? So they were 14th century. Kareem, I'd be very upset too, says Gordon Robertson. Yes, upset, yes, if they did anything to belittle the Scottish Parliament. I mean, I must confess, if you listen back to McClue, I was not a great fan of the Scottish Parliament until it actually started up. And I saw some great things happen. And then, of course, once it started to evolve, and Alex Salmond and Nicola, got into their stride, I thought to myself, this is good stuff, this. It really is. So that's that. I keep getting asked, would you not join the Scottish Parliament, Scottie, And I look at some of the people in so-called opposition, and they will be remembered as not helping. Because at a time like this, Churchill, as Churchill said, now, did you see me post yesterday on Facebook? Nobody other than the ancient Greeks have done so much for civilization as the Scots, right? No one apart from the ancient Greeks has done so much for civilization as the Scots. Winston S. Churchill. Remember him? So there we are. I know everybody's not a fan, but I'm just telling you, when our parliament was set up, was the Scottish Executive. I think that's right, Gordon. And of course, have you ever had a read at John McCormick's book, Gordon? The Flag in the Wind. And it's a reprint, The Flag in the Wind. These early nationalists really put their lives into, working for an independent Scotland. And that should be acknowledged. So there you are. Yes, and that was Professor Neil McCormick's father, John McCormick, the lawyer. I used to listen to on Central FM every weekend. Me and my family were always creased for hours with the phone calls and the patter. So there we are. Well, that was very early days. That's 30 years since I was on Central FM. Are you on Snapchat? McAvoy, there's one I'm not on. I'll make a wee note. Snapchat. I used to be on Snapchat with an alligator. Recently, I saw copies of legal documents from pre-1707. They simply said Parliament Edinburgh. I thought it was wonderful. Well, of course, that would be the old Parliament building at the top of the High Street, opposite St Giles. Parliament Square. Lovely old building in there, very powerful. So there you are. Yes, it's very interesting. And by the Act of Union, organizations that were formed after 1707 should be 50-50. Now, I'm thinking of a big public service broadcaster here. 50-50. Okay? Absolutely. Because 9% of the income for that is collected from Scotland. Recently, I saw these copies. Excellent, Gordon. The more platforms, the better, says Glenn Peacock. I think so, Glenn, yes. My friends who just absolutely are bowled over at how big McClue is nationally and internationally. When I go on a new platform, they say, are you in this as well, Scottie? We love it, but YouTube is the way ahead, guys. It'll take a wee while, and we'll all work together, but we will build our stream. Not my stream, our stream. Lovely, because we do it together. The ones that were there at the start. Magdalen Scottie is how it's spelled. Robert Scrimger, I wouldn't ever doubt you. I just asked you to check. I wasn't doubting you. It's easy to, in the old days, that's how things were passed on. Fiddle tunes, pipe tunes, stories. And I just wanted to check, but please do not think, Robert Scrimger, a member of one of Scotland's oldest and most distinguished families, that I was in any way doubting your spelling abilities. It was just, could you check? Do you see what I mean? I get that all the time. People say, could you check that one for me? Or I say to them, could you check for me? Just so that we get it right. Do you know that when the invitations are sent out from Buckingham Palace or Windsor Castle, they're checked several times just to ensure that there's never a mistake? It's wonderful. Because if you watch, particularly English people spelling Scottish names, Lock, L-O-C-K, how they actually would say it. So there we are, Scottie. There we are. And Kareem mentions the professor stepping down as NTS president. Interesting in September. The old Scottish Parliament used to meet in different locations in days gone by. Alistair Campbell, they would, because the court would move. So the court could be at Linlithgow, at Perth, Dunfermline. Where else? Was Arbroath the capital? Where else did we have the capital of Scotland? Maybe Kelso, I don't know, all these places. Scottie, do you know of any other country that's voted against their own independence? No, Sub-Zero. No. But I think the problem is you have to be very careful how something's perceived. See, there was a massive split. They went to the biggest political meeting ever was in the St Andrews Halls, and there were over 3,000 people there, right? Was it 3,000 or 5,000? I think it was 3,000. And it made me smile because, of course, I can do a tweet in the morning and instantly have 3,500 there. So one of Scottie McClue's tweets is bigger than the biggest ever public meeting, if anybody's ever doubting social media. Right? And I sent out a tweet on Saturday, and 29,500 have viewed the wee video. You see, that sort of thing. It's interesting, isn't it? So, have you ever read the Magna Carta? I can't honestly put my hand on my heart, Glenn, and say that I have. The Magna Carta was King John, and it's Latin for Great Charter. And it's written, isn't it, on the old vellum. It's on there, the Magna Carta, the Great Charter. Yes, going back to give English people rights. I think you should do a review of videos on a live stream and we can show you our videos. What do you think, says McAvoy Production? Well, yes, I mean, I'd love to see skill, McAvoy, and you will be a man of skill because you will have high production values, right? Not always the case now in every video, I have to say. I mean, I posted one of Linda playing the accordion. The sound is very poor, but I don't know if I want to take it down just on that basis. You know, I might take it down and replace it and get better sound. So there we are. So McAvoy, yes, start reviewing the videos on YouTube, and we could do them live on the stream. I could give people my opinion. There we are, fantastic. It's funny because when I watch the news now, I see some terrible gaping errors in presentation. What we don't get, we've got a lot of journalists reading the news now, particularly during lockdown. Now, because you're a very, very good journalist does not mean you're a good television presenter. And obviously the journalists will love getting the exposure, but a lot of things could be tidied up. And I notice there's one or two telling us the news when they should be reading the news. They're going, oh, that happened today in Scotland, or something like that. Do you see what I mean? And you think, no, just get on and read it. So there we are. So that sort of stuff, glaringly obvious, you know, and I think, get McClue in to train your newscasters. I trained in one of the finest schools you could ever have. Well, there we are. And then into ITV in the days that every piece of articulation mattered. So there we are. So Glenn, tell us more about what you've read. Have you read the Magna Carta? Have you read the Declaration of Arbroath? There we are. Have you read the Act of Union? I'm just sort of working my way through it all. But very important that, you see, because one administration could be acting out with the law if they haven't split things 50-50 with Scotland. Very, very important. Equal power. You know, when people go, what is he saying? What's she saying? Oh, that equal power. Mm-hmm. So there we are. Very, very interesting. So perhaps, Kareem, they may find they don't have the authority to interfere in the administration of the Scottish Parliament. Yes, very interesting. Because if you remember when the old Scottish Parliament closed, and a wonderful man called Andrew Fletcher of Saltoun. And I've stayed in Saltoun, and I stood by his grave. And he was known, Fletcher of Saltoun, they were the local land lairds, and he was known as the Patriot. You know, but a lot of the union was caused through starvation. That was the problem. There we are. That Scotland had been starved because the clans were fighting each other, and the aristocracy, the nobles, although a lot of them, there was nothing noble about them, were fighting. Tom Johnston, the wonderful Secretary of State for Scotland, who Churchill labelled in the national government the uncrowned King of Scotland. And he was a fabulous, fabulous Secretary of State, Tom Johnston, lovely man, stayed out in Milngavie. And there we are. And right, I'm just sharing this, guys, so that everybody knows what's going on. It's going to the big Scottie McClue page. And we will tell everybody we're live now. Okay, that's gone. So Tom Johnston wrote a book, Our Noble Scottish Families, and a lovely, lovely guy gave me a copy, 2 copies, in fact, an original. And of course, he actually thought later, when he got into power, that he should maybe, you know, back off a wee bit. But he was telling him all about, you know, how a lot of them used to steal cattle, and that's how they get the money. The same old sang, the famous saying. Did he not say, Alistair Campbell, there's an end to an old sang, when they shut the Parliament down? Fantastic. Perhaps there should be a representative in the Parliament building. What is the Parliament building house nowadays? We need to check all that. Scottish Snapchat's good. I recommend it. You need to play with it to get used to it, but it's worth a go. Do you live stream on it? Can you live stream on Snapchat, Kareem? Because I think live streaming is a very important part of McClue. There we are, the McClue. Wonderful. Tell everybody, guys. Tell 10 to tell 10. Get the word out there. So there we go. I'll just put it on. I've got 10,000 people on LinkedIn. It's fantastic. So internationally, McClue is very, very popular. And, I noticed there was quite an uptake in America the other day. David Taylor, good morning, Scottie and everyone. Good morning, David. Lovely to have you with us. Thanks for that, Kareem. Also, has everybody followed me on TikTok? If I get another 300 followers on TikTok, I can do a live stream. And I popped on TikTok the other day just to tell them straight, just follow me. Good morning, Scottie and everyone. David Taylor, this is very, very kind of you to come and join us because this was started for you. I thought David Taylor would like to start in the mornings, so we shall do that. If everybody can move the chat aside and give me one of these, that would be just fantastic. No live stream. Any video clips stay on your timeline for 24 hours unless you save it to your phone. Then you can load it to Facebook. Wow, Kareem, excellent. Many thanks, says David. David, delighted. It was a very good idea. The mornings on YouTube. It'll all take a wee while to build up, guys. I've had people cackling at me all their life. And, when we tried to raise money on GoFundMe, gofundme.com/Scottie-McClue. And, we're heading up towards certainly over a third of target. But people were, that sort of idiot that cackles, And I've just had people cackling at me since McClue started 28 years ago. That'll never work. Nobody's going to listen to you. 250,000. I had a guy yesterday who was talking about a radio station and he went, they'll have lost listeners now. Lost listeners with their left-wing chat. And, of course, that's only his opinion. And I said, they've just become the most successful radio station, So the official figures, I had to tell them. People have not got a clue. There we are. And they should get clued up on how everything actually works and the power of social media. Do you know what I mean? Many thanks. I mean, Scottie McClue is probably bigger now than ever. And remember I used to regularly go on radio stations where we'd pull together the audience that must have amounted to around 12 million at a time. People used to listen all over the country because, as you know, radio stations have overspill. It's not a very nice title. They call it bleed through, but I would change that to an overspill. And, you're going to get that on an FM station. Like when I broadcast in Manchester, a guy rang me from the County Down in Ireland, and he said, listen to you every night. I said, have you just found us? I thought, did you? No, Scottie, I listen to you every night. Listening to you every night. So there we are. So that was him. And you don't realise that when I broadcast on Red Rose Radio, massive on the Isle of Man. And, anytime I got a shot one day, I was walking up the street and someone said, hello, how are you? Hello. And it's lovely to see you. And I thought, I don't know them. And I thought, sorry, no, you'll not know us, no. We're from the Isle of Man. You read our news every night. Oh, that sort of idea, just incredible, absolutely incredible. And that is the power. That's how it goes. Fantastic. So you talk to people about, have you ever heard of Scottie McClue? Him. It depends if they've been cut off or their point has been listened to. Wonderful stuff. There we go. It's very, very good training for the general public to get on there and there's nothing like it now. I would like you to have a listen to a talk show on radio or television, and then have a listen to Scottie McClue from this Saturday night, number 46, and ask yourself, what do you prefer? Truth. There we are. I need to go now, says Stephen Douglas, to take my pup out for a walk. I'll still be watching my phone. I've got you up on my TV through my Sky Q box. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. My advice to everybody, Stephen, is get Scottie McClue on the big screen. And you get talking. I know I sometimes sit a wee bit too far forward, but we can sort all that. We can back and forward, because this is the people's program. It's the people's show. Fantastic. Love to the pop, Stephen, and I hope you and her, I hope she has a gorgeous walk with lots of lovely stops for sniffs. They are so funny. There we are. My old guy at 14, he took off on me last night. I had to run after him. He's got a gammy leg from having a stroke. And I ran after him. I said, stop. And he stands and goes, ooh, ah, ooh. Thinking I gave the old guy a run for his money there. So have a wonderful, wonderful walk, Stephen. Lovely to have you with us. I can't believe we've been on for 40 minutes. It seems like 10 minutes. So there we are. As I say, at some point we may have to chuck the mornings, but we'll keep them going. You know, a bit like they used to give us advice in exams. They used to say, keep writing till they come and take the paper off you. But I don't know if that's official advice. So there we are. But I can remember we got it. Don't worry, I'll tell everybody tell her about it. She's an American bulldog. Cheers and dinky-doo. She'll be strong, Stephen Douglas. You'll have built up your arms. My goodness me. So there we are. Wonderful stuff. She'll be fantastic. Right. Do you know what I nearly said there? To the telephones. I posted a short video. Just about 13, in fact, virtually exactly 13 minutes, 12:59 of phone calls yesterday. So you've got a shorter one. Because I know people go up, 2 hours he's on, 2 hours. 2 years old, she's my world. Stephen, bless her and bless you. Dinky-Doo, she's very lucky having such a lovely chum. There we are. Scottie, I've sent you a Snapchat link. Kareem, you are so kind. You are really a top man. I will have a look at that. The thing is, and I'm not complaining, but when it starts to really build, which it's doing now, everybody wants a piece of the action. So I'm getting a lot more emails, a lot more reaction. And you think, whoa, I'm trying to keep running here. YouTube, several Facebook pages, a Facebook group, TikTok. What else? Come on, help me, everybody. We're on all these things. It's wonderful. Scottie, yes, thank you very much for that. That is super, Kareem. As I say, I will certainly look into that. There we are. Just going to have a quick look and see what we've got in. Oh, there we are. Excellent. So we're out on the LinkedIn, just to let everybody know it's there and they can come and join us. But I think once you get into social media and start building, once this gets discovered en masse, and it only takes somebody that's got huge followers to just send it round and go, get listening, get watching. Instagram, yes, I'm on Instagram, Scottie McClue 1. Thank you, Glenn. He doesn't remember all the stuff he's on. But when you're talking live, of course, it's slightly different. Your brain's going, come on. Scottie, can you tell my boy Ryan to get up and ready? He'll listen to you. Sub-Zero, of course. Ryan, come on now. Up you get. Scottie McClue's live on YouTube. And it's time you were up, Ryan. I'm going to shout out the time. Ryan's in his bed at 10:45. I've rounded it up one. I made you in bed half a minute later than you are, Ryan. So up we get. Fantastic stuff. Yep, it's 10:44 and we've been on for 44 minutes 25. So I must have come on at exactly 10 o'clock. So there we are. So up you get, Ryan. Come on. There's lovely things. Dad's promised you a cup of tea. Maybe some hot chocolate. Fantastic. Guys, thank you to everyone who's bought me a hot chocolate. The link at the top there, very much appreciated. Scottie McClue can get a hot chocolate. And those of you that have tapped the dollar sign, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very kind of you. All helps. Any plans for the day? McAvoy, plans, for goodness sake. Remember, nobody plans to fail. They just fail to plan. Aha, there's a good one for you all today. Can you all see the McClue bonnet badge? DINKY-DOO. Fantastic. There we are. So yes, there's always plans, McAvoy. So much to do, so little time to do it in. We never know how long we've got. I don't want to become too sort of serious or anything like that, but we don't. So there you are. It's very, very strange. It's a very strange thought. You don't know how long you've got, you know. And anyone else seeing buffering? Gordon Robertson, anybody getting any buffering? Gordon, I can check for you because McClue has got access to the lot here. Anybody seeing buffering? My old PC, the problem is my old PC is a little bit slow anyway, Gordon, but no, it seems to be fine. Maybe a wee bit of glimmer, certainly a lot of glamour. I think you can give me that, McClue. Very glamorous. Have you seen any good movies lately, McAvoy? Always the good movies. Fantastic. I'll tell you, anything with Tom Hanks, anything with Michael Caine, anything with Richard Burton. Who else have we got, guys? Who else do we love? There we are. You just know it's going to be an absolute belter. So there we are. I see some interesting ones. Have you ever, McAvoy, you've thought, right, I should go to bed now. I'll just see if there's anything on the telly. And you get your zapper and you go, nah, nothing, nah, nothing. Loud music, nothing. Screaming and shouting, death, murder, no, don't, no. More murder, more death, shooting, stabbing, killing, no, don't want any of that, no, no. Oh, what's this? And you start to watch it. Have you ever sat and watched one that you know exactly what's going to happen? I must fess up, one Sunday night recently, I sat and watched Elephant Man. Heartbreaking. Beautiful. McAvoy production. I think that was my buffering issue. Gordon Robertson, you're an awful man for your buffering issues. So there you are. That means, in your language, Gordon, that means you have a high shine on everything because you've been buffering it up. You can see what I just did there. That's wonderful. I bet your shoes are well buffed. Fantastic. Thanks for that, Scotty. He's up now. Cheers, he's laughing. Good man. Well done, Ryan. Big round of applause for Ryan. Silent applause for Ryan every day. Whoa! Because I found last week the microphone, if it picks up me clapping too loud, then somebody's got their earphones and so we don't want that. We don't want that. There we are. So a big round of silent applause for Ryan. So there we are. He's up and about. No, Scotty, I've had a brief look at it, but it's rather a lot to take in. So there we are. What's that, Glenn? What's rather a lot to take in? Do tell me. What were we talking about there? Fantastic. Oh, the Magna Carta. Oh gosh, I haven't had time to go through the Magna Carta because I think you'll find, Glenn, and you'll be the same, when we get up in the morning and we've done our stuff and we've had a cup of tea and we're sitting there and think, do you know what I'll do today? I know this house is a wee bit of a mess and these windows are mocket, particularly Gordon Robertson's. Tut, tut, tuttity, tut. And you say, do Do you know, I think maybe I'll read through the Magna Carta. We'll not take the Wayne's swimming. We'll not bother. We'll not go for a walk. We'll read the Magna Carta. You don't really, do you? And we should. I used to like Don't Watch Alone films, Hammer House of Horror, black and white spine chillers, love them. Do you remember, God, these Don't Watch Alone? And you sat on a Friday night, you maybe had a light refreshment, and then a wee bit of wind, nothing personal, and you'd hear the roof creak. You'd think, there's somebody in this house. We used to have doors in the house. It was an old Scottish stone house. And we used to have doors that opened and shut when it was windy. They gave a wee bang, even when all the windows were shut. And old roofs creak. Remember a friend saying, I heard the roof creak last night. Now, it only does that when it's going to be very cold and frosty in the morning. So there are. Gremlins don't feed at midnight. Glenn Peacock, how very interesting. Gremlins don't feed at midnight. Is this a code? Yes. Is it something secret that I should know about, like the crow will fly tonight? Scottie, I need to do some shopping now, so I'll see you tonight. Scottie, have a good day, one and all. Dinky-Doo. Kareem, bless you and your lovely family for staying with us, and have a wonderful, wonderful shop. All the social distancing. Oh, is it today the masks start in the shop? Have we to cover our faces in the shops from today? Is that right? Do check. I'm away to the beer garden with the Waynes, says Anna S. Anna S., lovely to have you with us, Dinky-Doo. Bye, Kareem. Bye, Kareem. Everybody say bye to Kareem. Have a good day. Friday, I think, is the masks. Is it this Friday? Right, so there we are. Goodness sake, everybody's standing in the bank with a mask on. The poor cashier. So there you go. So Friday for the masks. Excellent. I was going to check, but apparently they're no use. The Second World War gas masks, the ones with the windies and all that stuff. Second World War gas mask. The film Gremlins with a cute gizmo with no sunlight, no food at midnight. Glenn Peacock, you're miles ahead of me. They were the only Gremlins I know is when the live stream goes a bit wonky. There we are. And if Gordon's kit goes wonky, he always tries to blame it on me. Scottie, you're buffering now. Yes, you've lost, the tone's gone, your mic's away. No, Gordon, sort your kit out, if you'll pardon the expression. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to start our trip with my mad bunch. Look after yourselves. McAvoy, top of the day to you, top of the morning to you. Love to the Emerald Isle. Love to Cork. We are with you. Fantastic. And Kamaraha Uhakama, Falchi, Don Cork. Wonderful. Take care, McAvoy. Bless you. And Dinky-Doo from Scottie McClue and everybody here at YouTube. So there we are. Thanks very much, McAvoy, for watching. It's always lovely to have quality chat, and we get quality chat on here, guys. You guys are quality. We love that. Gas masks amongst the civilian population was a bit of a farce, wasn't it? World War II. Germans never even used it. Not saying there's parallels today, as we have to stay safe. I don't think it would have survived going across the channel, but I think probably they'd be worried about dropping it in canisters. Hugh Grant, here we are, says Glenn Peacock. Ah, fantastic. Yes, of course. Wonderful. My pal has a leather mask that covers his whole head. Metal studs on it for decoration and a zip at the mouth. But I'm thinking it's not quite what Nicola had in mind. No, but it sounds like a lot of fun for a lot of people, Gordon. So there we are. Fantastic. And what have you. It's not my scene. I hastened to add, but there we are, a bit of a leather mask with the studs and what have you. There we go. God, that's a scream. Wonderful, Gordon. Thank you very much. Shall we give Gordon one of these? Gordon, you don't actually deserve a yellow card. I just had it handy. I saw it there and went for the moment, you know. It's the new fashion masks. Oh, yes. I mean, I think there'll be quite a lot of that. I just get my stream on the PC a minute later. No, sorry, a few seconds later. And I just saw the yellow card going off there. Quite funny. Well done, McClue. Right. More tea. What's going on? Can everybody check that they've liked the stream, that they've subscribed? If you haven't subscribed, please just click subscribe. Thank you to those of you that have bought me a hot chocolate and tapped the dollar bill. My first yellow card, I'm chuffed a bit. So absolutely, Gordon. Absolutely. There we go. I don't think I'd ever want to send you off, though. You're too good. And we do need our grammarian. Remember, fantastic. It's an image not worth thinking about, says Glenn Peacock. Oh, absolutely, Glenn. A wee bit much, maybe pre-breakfast. What does pre-prandial mean? Have you got that one? Anybody? Gordon Robertson? One for you, a little bit of homework this morning. Pre-prandial. So you've caused a stushy now, Gordon Robertson. I tell you, have we all shared? It's wonderful. People will be wanting to get on with their day. That's why I cut it down to an hour, guys. I think, is this a fine arrangement? Are you happy with this? As I say, we might maybe get another week of the mornings, and then the game may well be up. But not to worry. Before breakfast, I think. Is pre-prandial not before dinner? There we are. Sub-Zero, I think shoplifters will be happy when the shop's open. Most of their faces will be covered with masks. Absolutely. But have you noticed there's a huge network of cameras and somebody's sitting watching them and going, aisle 3, yeah, guy there, he's just put some coconut milk in his pocket. Scott, it's common sense to like your streams with the thumbs up. Glenn, of course it's common sense. You're filled with common sense, remember. Not everybody is, although I would say everybody on here is. I would qualify that. So there we are. So shoplifters are not getting away with anything like they think they are. You know, it's that sort of idea. Yes, security, could you come with us, please? So, how does a shop assistant check ID for age-restricted products if they're wearing masks? Well, Robert Scrimger, your ID's a card. You'd have to show it. I'm sure if youngish-looking people are buying booze, I've seen them show a card. I don't know what the card is. Do young people have a card that they show? Sadly, I don't get asked for ID. When I was buying booze, I don't buy booze anymore, of course, which saves a few quid. I buy hot chocolate. No, I don't get asked. People don't say, you know, when I used to come through with a few tinnies, nobody would go, excuse me, sir, could I just see that you're eating? There we are. I'd have loved that. How does this? Oh, there we are. So we don't know. A shop assistant might be watching and may well come on and tell us. Any more likes, guys? Any more subscribes? So there we are. Fantastic. We're going to have to dash in a minute anyway, but that's not to say it's not been a fantastic stream. Do you see the streams growing? Because I do. I see the streams growing, and the night time is huge. Scotty, you're only just turned 21. I know. You have to be 21 for booze. Is that right? So is the old 18 gone? You've got to be 21, or you've got to convince them that you're 21 for the booze. It's strange stuff, isn't it? Although I once was in a supermarket and a mother asked her son, what would he like to drink? And she bought it. Very strange. So there we go. I know in France, do they not have a wee sip of watered down wine at 14 or something like that to train the children to drink responsibly? Is there such a thing as drinking responsibly, though? Or does all booze bring an element of irresponsibility? Is that why we do it? It's a thought, isn't it? It's a thought. Because I told you I checked with a doctor friend of mine. And I said, you know, is there any nutritional value at all in alcohol? And they went, no. It's a social de-inhibitor, but that's it. And of course, if you think about it, as soon as you touch a drink, your body's trying to get rid of it. I mean, I'm those multi-bands guys. I have years of experience of that. There we are. J-Dog Gaming, top man. Sorry, Scottie, I was away. I was in my grand and granddad's and a grand chat. I'd rather you did that, J-Dog. More important. Scottie, have a great day. Same to Mrs. McClue and Johnson. To one of their plans, you get married and fight in the war, but you can't buy a beer. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Take care, everybody, as you go. Goodbye, everybody. If it doesn't, au revoir and a cheerio. Thanks for watching. Have a gorgeous day. Ta-ra-las.